What's going on, you guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and welcome to the video. In this video, we're talking about an exciting new company to the channel, and that company is called Mind Life Sciences. Now, Mind Life Sciences is focused on treating major depressive disorder utilizing psychedelics, so it is an interesting life sciences psychedelic company. So in this video, we're going to be simply introducing the company, going over what they do, some information from a really interesting article, and just giving you guys an idea of what the company is all about, simply an introduction. Then, of course, it opens the door for you guys to do your own research and due diligence. And always remember, guys, these videos are not financial advice. So with that being said, I bring you Mind Life Sciences. I'm excited to talk about it. And also, for full disclosure details, this is a sponsored video. So check the description down below for full disclosure details, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Let's get straight into it, guys. Of course, don't forget to smash that like button if you appreciate these kinds of videos. Hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on future videos. And drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. So the first place you can go for information about Mind Life Sciences is mindsciences.com. A really interesting website, a leading life sciences company, so backed by decades of experience. I'm going to simply introduce the company for you guys. We're going to take a look at the stock, and then we're going to go over an interesting article that sums up, everything about the company and what they do. So Mind Life Sciences was founded by Dr. Wilfred Jeffries and Dr. Lyle Oberg with the goal of improving mental health. Dr. Jeffries is a world-renowned neuroimmunologist with over 60 patents and 100 publications in prestigious medical journals, including Nature and The Lancet. Through Dr. Jeffries' research conducted over the past 30 years and the executive leadership of Dr. Oberg, we intend to establish the link between depression and inflammation in the brain and ultimately develop a pharmaceutical treatment utilizing compounds found in psilocybin. It's a very interesting mission. I've talked about many companies in the psychedelic sector, so this company is very relevant to what we talk about here at Departures Capital. You can see how the stock has performed over the last little while. It's got a 52-week range of $2 to $2.15, so it hasn't been, too volatile since their IPO, which wasn't too long ago. So now let's get into an interesting article from biotechresearchreport.com. As mental health deteriorates worldwide, the estimated $28.6 billion antidepressant market looks long overdue for a revolution. Mind Life Sciences, for example, could help transform the treatment of major depressive disorder for approximately 264 million people around the world. So as we know, guys, right now, this whole global illness has wreaked havoc on our mental health, unfortunately, and people are really going to need some new alternatives for what's out there, because what's out there in the market right now, it's just not good enough. It's just a band-aid. So nearly 264 million people struggle with depression, for example. While some of us may be better at hiding our depression than others, it can be a real struggle, especially with the potential anxiety, irritability, and hopelessness. Robin Williams, for example, spent his life making people laugh themselves silly while dealing with issues of severe depression. A dear friend of mine who always has a smile on her face in public often wants to be left alone struggling with depression for years. Many even put on a face so others aren't aware of how they really feel. It's not fun, it's not easy. Besides, it often gets old telling people, "I'm okay," when you're not. To alleviate the symptoms of depression, many people turn to antidepressants such as SSRIs, which are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. About 13% of Americans aged 12 plus are currently on medications to help reduce these symptoms. The problem is SSRIs aren't always helpful, focusing more on symptom suppression than the root cause. According to The Guardian, the number of psychopharmacological drugs research programs in larger drug firms has shrunk by 70% in the past decade. We need some kind of change. With that being said, the pharmaceutical industry is overdue for a massive game-changing revolution when it comes to mental health care. Fortunately, the revolution may have begun thanks to companies like Mind Life Sciences. So let's take a look at the top reasons to consider Mind Life Sciences now. And there is 10 of them, so we're going to go over them all. Number one, with global mental health deteriorating, the roughly $28.6 billion antidepressant market could be long overdue for sweeping revolutionary changes. Number two, right now, about 264 million people are struggling with depression worldwide. Number three, to help deal with depression, many turn to antidepressants such as SSRIs. Number four, about 13% of Americans aged 12 plus are currently on medications such as Zoloft or Prozac to help reduce the symptoms of depression. Number five, unfortunately, many SSRIs focus on symptom suppression than the root cause. Worse, over the last 20 years, they've seen little innovation with SSRIs. And number six, with the help of Mind Life Sciences and psilocybin, approximately 264 million patients may have a new innovative way to treat their major depressive disorder. Number seven, currently Mind Life Sciences is planning for several clinical trials to establish the efficacy of its novel diagnostics and therapeutics, with plans to rapidly commence these in Q4 of 2021. Number 8, the company is approaching a clinical trial to address a novel marker for diagnosing and monitoring, both qualitatively and quantitatively, depression in response to psilocybin treatments and various psychedelics. Number 9, it's also nearing a clinical trial to address the therapeutic impact of psilocybin and psilocybin analogs as anti-inflammatories in diminishing the cytokine storm related to today's health predicament. And finally, number 10, Mind is also nearing a clinical trial to address the therapeutic impact of psilocybin and psilocybin analogs on depression in patients with confirmed health predicament-related conditions. Just who is Mind Life Sciences? Mind is a life sciences drug development company that's aggressively advancing psilocybin-based medicines to help treat mental illness. The company's Mind 604 treatment is being developed to treat major depressive disorder and bring much-needed innovation to the antiquated multi-billion-dollar SSRI market. So let's read a little bit about their highlights. So world-class R&D facilities. Collaborating with world-class research facilities at University of British Columbia, world-class research team led by Dr. William Jeffries and his team of PhDs at UBC, industry-leading research and development, operating under Part J exemption granted by Health Canada to conduct R&D on restricted and controlled substances, and finally, experienced management, experience in taking orphan and novel drugs through commercialization via the FDA. At the moment, Mind is planning for several clinical trials to establish the efficacy of its novel diagnostics and therapeutics, with plans to rapidly commence these in Q4 of 2021. Here's some highlights. A clinical trial to address a novel marker for diagnosing and monitoring both qualitatively and quantitatively depression in response to psilocybin treatment, as well as various psychedelics. A clinical trial to address the therapeutic impact of psilocybin and psilocybin analogs on depression in patients with confirmed health predicament-related conditions. And finally, a clinical trial to address the therapeutic effect of psilocybin with sepsis. Its Mind 604 program for major depressive disorder, for example, is being developed to treat major depressive disorder and bring much-needed innovation to the antiquated billion-dollar SSRI market. Additionally, Mind 778 is being developed as an oral dosage form of psilocybin for treatment of sepsis. Sepsis is a biphasic inflammatory disease characterized by an initial hyperinflammatory phase called systemic inflammatory response syndrome, which is followed by an anti-inflammatory phase called endotoxin tolerance. Mind is planning for several clinical trials to establish the efficacy of its novel diagnostics and therapeutics. So it's also a great idea to take a look at the management team. You can find it here on this article, and the link to the article will be down below just in the description. But that's pretty much it for the introduction, guys, to this company. Psilocybin is one of the major compounds, one of the most popular compounds for major depressive disorder, and there's going to be lots of research done on it. It's an interesting company. They've got multiple clinical trials planned for their pipeline, so this might be a company to take a look at. Of course, I highly encourage anyone watching these videos to always do their own research and to always remember that these videos are not financial advice. So always remember, guys, this video was sponsored by a third party on behalf of Mind Life Sciences. Check the description down below for full disclosure details, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer, and always remembering that these videos are not financial advice. So with that being said, I'm out of here, guys. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And last but not least, Departures Capital and Departures stocks are for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. We'll see you guys in our next video.